Hi guys, welcome to Outbox Sports, and today we're going to be discussing our 2017 NFL MVP. I think for the most part they're mostly quarterbacks, as they normally are. And Ross, I know I'm going to go to you first. Who do you think is the NFL MVP this season?
All right, well, let's look at these stats first, and let me see if you guys can guess who I'm talking about. So he's thrown through week 14 of this season, he's thrown for 4,050 passing yards, second to only Drew Brees. Fourth in completion percentage at 68.3%. He's first in yards per attempt at 9.16 per attempt. He's tied for second in touchdowns thrown at 30 behind Aaron Rodgers and tied with Drew Brees. He's second in passer rating to Tom Brady at 113.2, and he's second in total QBR. Who do you think I'm talking about?
So we can knock out
Tom Brady.
Tom
We can knock out Tom.
He's not
Aaron
top five in
Rodgers.
anything.
Because he missed 4 games.
Besides QBR.
Derek Carr. Matt Stafford. No. Jameis Winston? No, it's Matt Ryan
Manny Adeyeye.
for the Atlanta Falcons. Yes. Even with Julio Jones being out in week 14, threw for over 250 yards and 3 touchdowns. Put up a 6-touchdown game against the LA Rams. He's absolutely lighting it up this year. He's honestly, I think, hands down, he's my NFL MVP this year. Without Matt Ryan, the Falcons are a sub 500 team.
Absolutely. And I think he's their gunning force for them to make this playoff run too. I know we've seen the Falcons fall off for a while now, but as of right now, Matt Ryan has them playing perfect football. Everybody talks about Julio.
Ball don't lie.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like Julio, Devonta Freeman, like he has these people, and what we were talking about before is value. And he has all of these targets.
I'm happy she said that. So we're actually defining MVP as something
I'm playing your game.
completely different now. We're defining it completely different. But carry on.
I'm going to it was based off of my version of most valuable player, which is who was the most impressive. I pick Ezekiel Elliott. But value.
Still, if you take him off and you put another sub 500,
they're at the top of the NFC South right now. Come on.
I mean, the NFC South is nothing to brag about.
But still, look at the defense that he has. If Matt Ryan had the Giants' defense right now, they would be undefeated. They're that good offensively that if they could get 1 or 2 stops in key moments, they would absolutely be a top 2 team this year.
But I think everyone kind of in the MVP race has done something semi-recently that's kind of knocked them down a few notches. If you look at Ryan, he in the game against the Chiefs, that awful ending, that kind of all his fault. So that kind of knocked him down a little bit in the MVP race.
So what's knocking down Tom Brady?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Question of value.
Tom Brady is 12-4 all time versus number 1 ranked defenses. In week 14 versus the number 1 ranked Baltimore Ravens, he destroyed them. They had no chance from the beginning.
Yeah, it was a 4
with no Gronk, and everyone's like, "Dang, no Gronk. It's gonna be a lot of issues. No Gronk, no problem."
What about no Tom Brady, and they are doing just fine?
But see, how are we defining MVPs? Are we defining it the way I define it?
Well, that's the way you define it.
Because
then it can't be Tom Brady.
Without Tom Brady, they gave up 41 points to the Bills and only scored 16.
Yeah, because Tom Brady's playing cornerback for the
Tom Brady affects the entire team.
Jimmy Garoppolo and Jacoby Brissett went 3-1.
Yeah. Tom Brady affects the entire team.
Let's just talk about Jimmy Garoppolo for a minute. Completion percentage. Well, he played 70%. Brady 68.5. Quarterback rating 117.1. Brady 113.6.
Are we talking about 2 games?
We are. It's a smaller sample size.
2 games?
He played the Arizona Cardinals, which at the beginning of the season were a Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah, but they're still the same Arizona Cardinals who are out the mix right now.
Your definition is if the player's not on the team, they would disintegrate, which is what you said about LeBron.
If the player's not,
Tom Brady,
if Tom Brady was not on that team, there's no way they beat the Ravens like that. They would have got smoked by the Seahawks, even though they still took the L. There's no chance that they beat the Steelers without Tom Brady. Beat the Chiefs without Tom. There's no team.
Tom Brady did not play very well at all against the Steelers that week.
Tom
Brady played terribly. LeGarrette Blount put the team on his back. He put 3 touchdowns.
Tom Brady got them in situations.
Well, let's bring a whole other aspect into this. Missing 4 games. Can you be the MVP and miss 4 games?
I think with the numbers that Tom Brady has put up so far,
especially when you go 3-1 in those 4 games,
he's
not
MVP.
I mean, his touchdown to interception ratio is ridiculous.
It is.
Having played 4 less games than all the other contenders, I think that comes into a huge effect. when people go to put their votes in for MVP. But it's still Tom Brady, and I think you could argue that those first 4 games without him, they kind of ran the ball a little bit more. They cut the field in half
in 2 of those games at the beginning of the season.
For the quarterbacks, for Jacoby and Jimmy. I know they did have them roll out and run a little bit more, which Tom doesn't often do.
We changed the system.
Exactly. If he had played those 4 games, hands down MVP.
No MVP has one missing 4 or more games.
This is the first time for everything.
The most is 3, and that was Joe Montana. Number 1 is Joe Montana. Number 2.
Second greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to argue.
Second greatest quarterback.
Second greatest quarterback of all
time. Okay, but when Joe
Montana
won,
is Tom Brady. TB12 is
he's overtaken.
When Joe Montana and Tom Brady are like not even in the same question in this, because when Joe Montana won, missing the 3 games, he was number 8 in passing yards. Tom Brady's number 22. Where it's like he's not in the top 5 in anything besides QBR.
Not yet. Still a few weeks.
I'm saying I know you missed.
But that's 4 games.
I know you missed the games. Stats wise, he's lower on the totem pole.
Stats is he has
100% guaranteed with that. Yeah.
And
that's not a surprise.
To me, that's how I pick. I think it's the MVP. If I was in the Associated Press or one of those people picking, I would.
We all wish that we were.
We really do.
I would be looking at that.
No, I think there's a lot to play into it. Yes, stats is part of it, and then you got to think about overall how one person can affect the team emotionally. You think about the way the Patriots have won since Tom Brady has come back is different. The defense has played better. The Garrett Blount is playing a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Even Martellus and Gronk with Tom has been ridiculous. I think one player, yes, can affect and change the whole team because the system that Bill and Tom working together is different from what they have with Jacoby and Garoppolo.
There's a few knocks that I have on Tom Brady for not being the MVP. When you look at some of the throws that Derek Carr has made in Oakland, and I just haven't seen, especially in that Week 14 game against the Baltimore Ravens, he didn't necessarily need to be slinging the ball around. He ended up with like 400 yards, but one of them was on a James White, quick slant that went 70 yards. One of them was a blown coverage to Chris Hogan. That was the only throw that he completed over 20 yards downfield. Most of his, routes that he throws are, quick slants or crossing routes or, developing plays where you get somebody open on like a deep out. Like I'm not really that impressed with him when I look at Big Ben. He makes some absolutely ridiculous throws. Like he knows exactly where to put that ball, where Antonio Brown is the only one that knows how to get it. Or, even Matt Ryan, he makes some absolutely ridiculous throws to Julio Jones. And even though I do understand that I don't like Tom Brady, I respect Tom Brady.
We are not biased
at this point.
I'm more if you're gonna give Tom Brady the MVP, he might as well accept it and just hand it right to Bill Belichick because he's doing exactly what Tom Brady has the ability to do at age 39, and he's getting people in the right position. It's not like Tom Brady's doing the most ridiculous things. He's not Peyton Manning right now. And that's the only. His QBR is great because he completes 75% of his throws because they're all 5 yards away from him. Like I'm not really that impressed.
That's just his ability to pick apart the defense.
I'm just saying, from a whole perspective of most valuable player, Matt Stafford has to be up there.
Hands down.
Matt Stafford has to be up there. Derek Carr.
I pick Derek Carr.
Or Matt Ryan.
Derek Carr is the most clutch quarterback, I would say, right now. If you look at the Buccaneers, he threw for 513 passing yards, one with less than 2 minutes in overtime.
Yeah.
He's making these clutch wins that, they would not be 10-3 without him.
Yeah, I agree. Derek Carr,
he's definitely coming to his own.
There's also a kind of a hidden aspect that nobody really is talking about that much, and the Raiders actually are the number one offensive line in the NFL right now.
Really?
It's really close with Oakland and the Cowboys, but Oakland is up there. They've spent a lot of money on that offensive line. I just think that if you take one of the quarterbacks off their team and you put in, let's say, Ryan Tannehill, you put Ryan Tannehill on the Cowboys, on the Patriots, on the Falcons, or on the Raiders, the Falcons are the worst team in the NFL. They are, hands down. And the reason why they are doing well is because Matt Ryan is their quarterback.
It just shows you how open this race
is.
Right now.
This race is so wide open.
Okay, so you've met Ryan. You have Tom Brady.
I mean, I was going Tom Brady, Matt Ryan kind of thing. Okay, but we'll see how it comes out.
So in my perfect
world, I may have swayed
Ezekiel Elliott technically about 2 running backs have won in the past 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
one of which was Adrian Peterson when he hit 2,000 yards. So that's just like such a high mark. And rookies only won twice ever.
I don't know about the Ezekiel Elliott.
No, because
Darren McFadden wasn't a 1,000-yard rusher last year.
I know, but
For the Cowboys.
Exactly.
DeMarco
That's why I'm
Murray,
not so big because
the
big thing about the
leader.
Cowboys, we talk about their offensive line all the time for the last 2-3 years, how they've been the best,
hands down.
And then you bring in the best running back from this past class. This is what was going to happen.
I think, but they need him to do well to win. Like,
Oh yeah,
they
hands
need
down.
it.
Yeah,
like,
but if you
so
ran,
he has the value side and he has
The one
The
knock,
insane
the
stat
one knock
line.
on him will be that his line is tremendous. But people don't understand. Even with a great and talented line, you have to be able to
you
produce.
still have to be able to run.
You have to
the
get
ball.
through the
can't just
blocks.
put
You have
any-
to see the field well. You have to know where your cutbacks are, and then he's doing it, and he's doing it well.
So I
you
have
can't
Derek Carr ultimately.
Yeah.
If he continues to
But-
do well, ignore that bad thing against the Chiefs. And
I think though going forward, if Zeke continues to put up these numbers, he could potentially win an MVP.
I think he needs to go above like 1,800 yards.
Yeah,
No,
definitely. Like Adrian
If he
Peterson,
does, then I have no problem him winning.
Yeah,
I think he'll definitely win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
hands down.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
No question.
I don't know. I have such a problem picking a running back just because I don't know. I feel like
I mean, it's not happening ever.
yeah. I mean, yeah. Quarterbacks are perennially picked as MVP candidates, and it's for a reason. It's not like it's kind of arbitrary. It's because they're
It's not easy to be a quarterback.
You're the only one that's handling the ball on every play.
Exactly. So let us know in the comments
We'll see.
Yep.
what you think, who you agree with, disagree with. If there was someone we didn't mention, I think we mentioned it.
Yeah,
For the most part,
pretty much
we
everyone.
covered.
Rodgers maybe, but
Not this year.
So yeah,
I mean towards the end of the season.
Stafford.
Just kidding. Man.
maybe.
If he
You mentioned
goes through-
Stafford.
Have an argument in the comments
Let us
with
know.
what you think. Give this a like if you liked it, and subscribe.
Please
There's
like
there's a button around here.
It's right there.
It may
I'm
be
pretty sure.
some-
Oh, it's
maybe.
under here. Yes.
Oh, it's under.
Could
yeah,
be
right,
his
right,
vicinity.
right,
I'm
right.
sure you can figure it out.
Thank
We
you.
have past videos.
Mention me
on
in
that
comments and I'll
side.
definitely respond to you.
What do you want to
That's
learn next time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's also a very good question. Well, anyway, we have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the whole 9 yards. Give us likes, subscribe. See you next time.
Peace.